if you can't handle all of this,
Mhm.
you're a weak man. You're an insecure man.
Mm.
Right? I've heard this conversation a lot of times. I'm a boss bitch. All right. I make my own moves. I make my own bed. I can live my own life. I don't need a man to tell me a damn thing. Obviously, they say, if you can't handle all of this, you're a weak, incapable, insecure man. But I would argue against that. Like I've told you guys before, as a man, it's not insecurity. It's just we prefer to play the providing, protecting role because that's how we feel in our masculine to feel like a man. But also that's how we show our love, and that's the role that we prefer to play. But if you want to play that role and take over my role, I don't feel like I don't have a role in the relationship, and I don't feel like I'm a man in a relationship because you're doing both roles. So and of course, if you're always strong, independent, you're acting like a guy. I wanna date a woman. I want to date feminine energy. I want to feel that nurturing, caring, loving, compassionate side of that woman. But if all I hear is I don't need you, then I'm gonna give you exactly what you need. You don't need me, perfect, great. I'm gonna keep it moving. Okay. But a lot of women don't understand that. They don't understand that there's different things that we look for in a relationship. And obviously that type of mentality can be very masculine. And for a masculine man, we don't want to date a masculine woman. We want a feminine woman, just like Daniel presented as feminine women. You don't want to date a very feminine man. You want to date a man, a masculine man. Okay. But let me pass it to you guys. What are your thoughts on that? A lot of women saying that if they can't handle all of this independent, strong, independent energy, then you're just a weak and you're insecure man. What are your thoughts on that? I'll pass it to you, Sarah.
Um, they're projecting themselves on them, possibly. Um, in a way, I feel like they're insecure. Um, as either they're looking for a man to, I don't even know how to answer that properly. Like, I have a million things going on in my head. Can we pass it and come back? Oh
I'll
my
come back to
gosh.
you. I'll come back to you.
Yes.
I'll come back to you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. I'll pass it to you, Dira. Have you heard that type of rhetoric around
Oh
certain
yeah.
girls about telling, hey, if the man decided to not date them, you know what? That's too much for me. I'm not gonna be in this relationship. And then, oh, you're insecure.
Yeah, I mean, I think it has to do a lot also with social media.
Hmm.
Like, I feel like what we see on social media, or like, oh, like we see like maybe all these women coming up, and we're like, oh, like I want to be like her,
Yeah.
and we're like, if no man wants to handle that, then whatever, like we don't care. So
Yeah.
I can see why like so many people think that way because we're just like exposed to that so much.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not saying it's right because like everybody, like when you're in a relationship, you need to like compromise and stuff.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, it's
When
like,
you
'cause
say
we don't
Yeah.
know those
when you
ways.
say it's not right, what do you mean?
like I'm not saying it's like, oh, if you can't handle me, like leave. Like I don't think that's the right mentality to have because like
Yeah.
it can be toxic.
Yeah.
Like if
Yes.
I'm like overbearing and doing too much, then nobody wants that.
Mm.
But I do think like every woman should have like the ability like to make their own decisions and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I think everyone has standards, right? That kind of what it comes down to. I think everybody has a standards of what they want and what they would like to have. But I do think, especially for women who put themselves on a pedestal like that, it is unreasonable. I think it's unreasonable to say you need to handle this, this, and this. Let's say I'm a person that's overbearing mentally, even physically. It's irrational for you to think that the man that you're choosing should have to handle that, rather than, again, like you dear said, there shouldn't be some compromise, right? There shouldn't be some things that, hey, I need to work on myself for us or for even a relationship in the future to work out. Because a lot of the people that are saying that are single, and they're single for a reason, right? Because they're having an expectation in their head that can't be reached, or it's only being reached by less than 1% of their person that they're trying to go with, the significant other, their spouse, right? It's only less than 1% of the people actually fill that category. And so it's more about being rational and being realistic to understanding, hey, this is what I want, but this is also the type of person I need to be to get what I want.